In life, we make choices. Shortly after Rasi Chau landed in America, he strapped on a football helmet and put the war and devastation that had defined his early childhood behind him. Rasi would go on to play in high school, college, and with the ranks of the semi-pros before taking to the field as a coach and official. From the Pewees to the pros, Rasi has been sharing his knowledge, triumphs, and struggles with the next generation of athletes for over 20 years. His story not only embodies the American spirit, but also serves as a reminder that our past does not define us, but rather that our choices and our perseverance truly shape our destiny.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey, how's it
Good.
going?
How much? Just got home from practice.
Oh, did you?
Man,
Yeah.
you look like a football coach, bro. You got the look.
Yeah. It's hot out there?
It's getting chilly tonight. Even though
Where
it's
Okay.
are
like
you from?
low 7. I'm from Boston.
Boston? Okay.
Well, I live 15 minutes north of Boston.
Man, you got the Boston accent going on, everything, man.
Uh, you know, like you wherever you live, you catch one. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
your accent is different from mine too, even though we speak one language.
Right, right.
Yep. Yeah,
Where
it's
you
like
guys
100
from?
degrees here. We're in Chicago. My son's football, they had to cancel practice. It's 100 degrees.
Jeez.
Yeah. It wasn't like that when I played back in the days, man. There's no such thing as cancellation.
Nope. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They've
I'm glad.
eased up.
I'm glad I found you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for reaching out and getting on, man. We love this. We want to showcase, athletes or like people in athletics of that we don't hear from, like Southeast
Yeah.
Asia, we hear maybe boxing, right?
Right.
Muay Thai,
Yeah.
Muay Lao, soccer, and maybe some badminton,
Yeah.
takraw, but you just don't hear like our people engaging in sports like football or
Yeah.
baseball, wrestling. Well, like we had some Lao wrestlers on,
Oh wow,
so
that's awesome.
yeah, you being a coach, that's a first for us. So we're definitely appreciative of you coming on. So
No problem, man. I mean, I enjoy coaching, man. It's the best thing to do. It's the best time of the
yeah,
year right now is the fall.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, we're all loving it.
yeah,
Getting ready for
yeah,
football
yeah.
season.
I can't wait. Yeah, football season's coming up, man. That's just something. That's just something about September, Labor Day weekend, and then
Yeah.
first game
I
kicks off.
I don't know if it's big where you guys are at, but I mean we're okay over here. Massachusetts, all right. Depending on the
You got,
school where you are.
man, you got the Patriots, man.
I'm not a Patriots fan. That's the thing.
No,
Oh,
I'm a Niners fan.
okay.
I love my Niners to death, man. Even though at times they suck, and then at time they were great. I'm still a
yep.
fan, regardless.
Yeah, no, they're great.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, great. Well, hey, man, we appreciate you coming on. We'll go ahead and kick it off.
All right. Hey, welcome, guys, to another episode of C4 Podcast, C4, Southeast Asian Athlete Achievement Through Adversity. My name is Coach Indetka. I'm here with my co-host, John Messina. We have an awesome guest on today that I'm going to, let John introduce him. First off, if you guys haven't already, please like, share, comments, support the page, our Facebook page, Lao American Sports, Lao American Sports on Instagram. C4 on Facebook. It really helps, just bring awareness to the podcast and really to be able to hear these amazing stories from amazing, not even athletes, but people, So we don't get a lot of, recognition from Southeast Asia. I was just talking to John and the guest earlier on. It's just like you just don't hear us being involved in athletics like football, baseball, pro wrestling, bodybuilding, so it's really UFC fighter. So it's we're out there, man. We just haven't been heard. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna send you over to my co-host John Messina, and he will introduce our guest.
Yeah, a couple quick announcements before we jump into the interview today. We continue our small business shout outs. If you'd like for your business to be mentioned on the show, DM us. Today, we want to give a shout out to Ty Sawati in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. They have 2 locations there, phenomenal food. They actually have a secret Lao menu. I know it says Thai, but it's actually a Lao restaurant. So you can get all your favorites there. And it just happens to be owned by the family of Stephen Insik Sigmai. He was one of the athletes that joined us at the SEA Games in Cambodia, one of the swimmers. So his family owns it. So if you're ever in the Winston-Salem area, please stop by and check out that restaurant. Another quick shout out. We wanted to give a shout out to PS Print Shop in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. They printed up these very high quality Team Laos shirts for our team and our fans in Cambodia at the SEA Games. They did a phenomenal job. So small shop, locally owned, incredible pricing, quality, service. I was a little concerned because I had to order them from overseas, from here, and have them waiting for us when we arrived in Cambodia. They were perfect. They made sure the order was perfect. So if you're,
do they have a website? Do they have a website, John?
They don't have a website as a small business, but if you want their contact information, if you're over there and needing to have anything printed, embroidered, etc., please just DM us. We will get you the contact information.
Great.
Because they're awesome people, and they do great work at a very affordable price. Even if somebody wants to talk to them about maybe exporting to the U.S., they'd be awesome to discuss that with. So with that, we are going to jump in. We're excited today because we're about to kick off football season. My son's team gets back on the field this Friday night, and we have a football coach on to help us with that. He's also got an incredible story. These are the kind of stories I like, kind of your regular everyday guy, but with just a really cool story, doing cool things. That's what we like to have and highlight on the show. So we're excited to have Arasi Chau on. So Rasi, why don't you start? First, introduce yourself, let everybody know your full name, and start with the backstory of your family coming from Cambodia.
My name is Rasi Chau. I'm from Boston. Actually, 15 minutes north of Boston. Yeah, my family came over here from Vietnam, actually, in 1986. And I mean, I saw everything too at, crossing the border, living the refugee camps. And it was a long, scary process of getting here. As a kid, you don't want to see dead bodies or the mangled bodies and decapitated bodies. The body part was everywhere as we're trying to reach our goal, our destination, which is Thailand. And then from Thailand, we went to the Philippines, trying to get our paperwork processed through there. And then eventually we came here in '86. I mean, it was as a young kid, like I said, it's a crazy world to see, trying to, your parents work so hard and dedicate themselves day and night, just trying to, make sure we're here safely, and it's a great opportunity to be here.
So how old were you when you came, just so people kind of get an idea?
Well, I know a lot of back in the '80s. I know a lot of parents would lie about their kids' age so they can go to school a little longer. So my parents did that. So technically, I'm 3 years older than what I am, but here I would say I was 10, and so my parents backtracked me 3 years younger, so I was like 7. And I was like, I was bigger than some of the kids in the classroom, and when I was in the first grade, they're like, "Wow, you're big for 7." I was like, I can't say anything about it. That I mean, Cole, you probably know the feeling.
It was opposite for me, man. I was like, man, you're so small. I was the smallest of the class, man. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was back in '86 we came here from the Philippines, straight to Boston because we have families here. Like my uncle was living here before we got here to Boston, and I didn't grow up in my city. Right, I live in Lynn, Massachusetts, and like I said, it's about 15 minutes north of Boston. Back in the day, racism was big, racial racial profiling towards the Asian was big too, because all the Asian was they're gang members, and I went to a different route where I don't want to be in a gang. I was like, I want to do something about it and change the image of that racial profile, like all back then, like late '80s, early '90s, cops see a bunch of Asian just chilling or whatever. They were like, "Oh, you guys in a gang, you guys in a gang," even though we're not. But I picked up football, man, through this girl I was dating at the time when I was in seventh grade, eighth grade, and she kept saying, you're fast and you're big. Why don't you use that to do something better instead of give the image of maybe Asian kids was a gamer? And I being I'm like, no way, no way, I'm not gonna play no sports. I'm not, I'm not that type of kid where you're not gonna tell me what to do. And then I gave it a try. So she's like, go see the coach. I was I played Westland Pop Warner back in 1990. She's like, give it a try. Go introduce yourself to the coach. I was like, no. And then what she did was she went to talk to the head coach and say, listen, you need to talk to Raz. He's fast and he's big. And from there on, I brushed him to. I was like, man, leave me alone, man. I don't want to be bothered. Being an arrogant kid I was, at that age, and think I know it all and stuff. And then he was like, watch, why don't you give it a try? If you don't like it, bygone be bygone. I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. Came to practice the next day, man. I took a big hit. I didn't know what to expect. I was like, oh, can I swear there?
Oh yeah.
You're right. You're right.
All right. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck you hit me for? I got mad. No, like, the coach was like, oh no, that's part of the game. I was like, oh, okay, so I understand. So he was teaching me the fundamental of football, and like every day I kept getting better, getting better at it, and then from there on, football is my passion. It's in my blood, man. I mean, I coach year round, from high school to college, semi-pro, and arena football, and I'm actually involved with a lot of NFL players as well. Yeah, from playing Pop Warner, and I went to play high school.
How old were you? How old were you when you started Pop Warner?
I was about 11, 12 years old,
Okay.
and again being a Southeast Asian kid, we don't understand any sports. You know what I mean? Our parents like, yo, you gotta hit the books, you gotta hit the books, you gotta hit the books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no sports. There's no sports in the Southeast Asian family.
What position did you play? And was that the position? Did the coach tell you, kind of guide you, or was
Yeah,
there like a
he
position
guided me through it. Yeah, he guided me through it. It's like you're fast and you can run, so I'm gonna have you play running back.
Nice.
I didn't know what that was, man. They're like, I didn't even know what a 2-point stance is. I don't even know how to take a handoff. Every time I get one, I fumble the ball, and he would yell at me, and have me do push-ups because that's a punishment because I fumbled. And I finally figured out, wow, how to get myself better, and because the my running back coach said you need to be here at least 15, 20 minutes early to get better before practice started. And I did that. I walked to practice every day and met up with the coach, and he showed me all the fundamentals being a running back, of taking out the handoff or blocking. If a lineman come through the hole, they teach you how to block them. And on offense, I played running back, and then on defense, I played linebacker. Just because I was a knucklehead and I didn't care who to hit, I hit anybody. And yeah, it was a great experience, man. I loved it ever since. And again, I went to play high school. Uh, I was a running back still. And once I got to the high school, all the upperclassmen, all the seniors, most of the seniors, they kept talking about me. Not in the bad way, but in the good way. It was like, oh, that's that Chinese kid there. He can run. He's fast.
It's always the Chinese kid, man.
Yeah,
That's what we were.
Chinese kid.
Yeah, it's always the Chinese kid, man.
But they also said, why is he so dark? He's Chinese. Why he's so dark? Because all the Chinese are light skinned. They didn't understand, the Southeast Asian region where Cambodia and Laos are darker than Indian too. They're darker too. But
Before
we're the dark.
before we get into your high school years, Tell us a little bit more about your childhood. Like, I mean, coming into a new world, right? Like you said, you just mentioned the weather, right? So, what was your experience as a kid? Like, just seeing the United States, probably witnessing snow for the first time, freezing temperatures. Did you have any brothers or sisters in your family, or you an only child? So, tell us just a little bit more about how your
We
experience was coming to the States.
well, we come up from a big family. I have seven brothers, six brothers total. So seven of us total, all boys. I'm the third one.
Wow, wow,
Yeah, we came from a big family, and coming here, man, first time it was scary. It was scary. You know, you're trying to adapt to a new life and a new society, and first time we felt cold, we didn't know how to act to it, so we just bundled up from blankets to extra socks, extra jackets.
yeah, yeah.
You know, and anything that was given by the Salvation Army was we didn't have the money, so any donated clothes we just put it on and fight for. You know, oh, it looks cool, so me and my brother would fight for it or whatever. And then I remember the first time it snowed. I think like late December, and we didn't know what it was. We thought it was just like a miracle thing. So we took, we didn't know any better either, and then we took a cup of snow and put like splash of soda on it, thinking like, it's gonna be slush to drink it. So we did that, and we were like, oh wow, this is amazing. God gave us ice instead of going to buy it in the store. And that was a great time, and best time I remember. And also, and us being Southeast Asian, we're small.
Yeah.
The neighborhood kids were picked on us because we're small, and we got nothing else. We don't have the size, we don't have the height, and it was hard growing up because of that. Bully was huge. And we kept getting bullied a lot. It's the Chinese, they know kung fu. That's the thing all the time. Oh, the Chinese know kung fu. Don't fuck with them. And then the older people, or the older kids would bully us because we're a lot smaller and we're a lot younger, and we couldn't do anything about it because, and then if you cry to your parents even hitting you more. That's the thing with the Asian family, Asian parents, old school Asian parents, like they're gonna yell at you and hit you for something that you didn't do, but they're gonna have, why were you there? You know what I mean? And then it's different. I mean, it's cool, and it's just weird from everything. We're so used to the hot environment, and it was hard. Like even when I went to school, like kids were eating snacks. I'm first time trying the potato chips. Holy crap! And I was like, that was heaven. I didn't know how to act to it. I was like, oh, what is this?
Yeah.
And then also like drinking a sip of soda from a friend of mine, like a juicy juice or a Capri Sun. I took a sip. I was like, holy shit, what the hell is this? Did you guys, how you get this? They're like, oh, you got to go buy it. I was like, oh, I don't have no money, so I can't, it's, it's,
Yeah.
80s was tough on us.
Yeah.
And you were, and where were you in the seven brothers? What?
I'm the third. I'm the third.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm the third. So technically I'm 46. I'm 45. I'm sorry. In my license, I'm 42.
Okay.
So, just when we came here, when we was in the Philippines, my parents changed my birth date. And we don't know, like the month was a made up month.
Yeah.
So whatever simple it was, my parents like, okay, you're born January 1st. They didn't know what it was.
Yeah. Are you
So
Khmer Chrome? Are you from the
Yeah.
Vietnam, Cambodia border?
I'm from
Yeah.
Vietnam, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that area, there's like we've had other guests on from there, like Vanna, and the documentation and stuff didn't exist too, like birth certificates.
Yeah, we didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
So if you see a lot of Khmer Krom or Cambodian people that was born in January 1st, that's all made up. And I was like, it's easy. It's all. I was told my parents told me that it was easy to remember. That's why.
Yeah.
So was your birthday January 1st? Is that what it is? Is that what you're saying?
Well, in the document, yes.
Really? your legal government issued says 1/1, huh?
Yeah, 1/1.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's common. It's common.
Because it's easy to remember.
Yeah.
So most of my my two older brother, they wasn't born here either. So theirs is 3-1 or 4-1, for example. So even my dad's is like 11-1. It's just like
Wow.
the best thing to remember is the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So
Interesting.
you so you started playing in high school. Um, Tell us two things because at that time, Lowell, Lynn, north of Boston, there were a lot of gangs. And when you were going the other path, was there like a lot of pressure by people to say, "Hey, don't what are you doing out there? Come with us." And
Yeah, yeah, it was tough going out to the high school, and then gang was huge here in Lynn. You got the Bloods, the Crips, and so on, and a lot of Asian kids would join gangs. Like I was just different. I want to be different. I just don't want to be a color. I don't want to be red or black or green or whatever. And like I said, going back to the girl I used to date, she was like, you need to continue on. You need to better yourself. Stay away from those guys. From there day on, um, I became. I played as a freshman on the varsity team just because I worked hard and I pushed myself to the limit where I don't want to stand on the sideline because standing on the sideline is boring, and being a water boy to the varsity players are boring. And I kept telling my coaches, listen, I don't want to stand here. They put me on a special team. Put me on a special team. That's where it all started. It's a competition. You got to go to practice every day to work harder than the guys that's next to you, and every day is a competition. And regardless if the guy is a starter at a varsity level, you still got to compete against him, even though you're not gonna get the spot, but you want to get in somewhere. And yeah, it was tough. I remember one day when I was at a football practice and a gang of Asian kids was sitting on the bleacher waiting to jump me because I didn't want to join their gang. And so my head coach stopped practice. He asked me, "Go, Raj, are those kids there for you? Are they your friend?" I was like, "No, they're here to jump me after practice because I didn't want to join their gang." And so what he did was he stopped practice and he walked, I think about 70 something football players walk up to the bleacher where those guy was just hanging out, and then so we walk up there. The coach said, "You got to, which one of you guys have a problem with Ross?" And they all said, "Oh, we don't have a problem with you guys. We do have a problem with Ross because he don't want to join my gang." And then so one of my coach was a state trooper, and he just I'll see you later. I'll see you later. He knows all of them. And then my other coach was a correctional officer. And he said, he said, if any of you guys touch Raj, I'll see you in Middleton. Middleton's a county jail here in the Lynn area. And and then they kept threatening, and threatened is going to be gone so much, and then that was it. I mean, they never bothered me again, and to this day, I thank my head coach there. He for stepping up and stopping practice. To let them know that it gang life ain't about everything. Football gang is great. That's it's a gridiron gang, and it's a family atmosphere. And the older guys will help you guide you to the right direction. So this way we can be a better person as we go on up to our sophomore year, junior years, and senior year.
yeah, so tell us
Yeah.
about your biggest accomplishments in high school, and then the recruiting process and going on to college.
My biggest accomplishment was, the start to be a starting running back, and and it did happen by because the starting running back got hurt. He blew up his ACL, and I was his backup. And then from there on, I never looked back. When he at practice I run hard. After practice, do conditioning, I run hard, regardless if I was dying or not. I still run hard. And then from there on, my senior year, I was selected captains, and then after was selected captain, I started recruiting all the Asian kids in the school. I told them, I was like, listen, you can get rid of this. You get rid of the gang life, the color life. That's not for you. And if they say they're your brother to the end, like what happened if you died or you go to jail, they're not gonna visit you. They come play football. Come play football. Come play with me. Let's represent us. Let's represent us. Let's change the image of of the Asian kids are all gang members. Let's change that image. And I got there. I got about 7 of them came out to play, and they enjoyed it. They enjoyed it, but they didn't last because they didn't like to get hit, and I love to get hit. Well, I love to run them over. That's the thing. Um, so my senior year, like I said, I became a captain, and then I became an all-star, and that was a great accomplishment. That was my biggest goal, was to be the captain of the team, and be and also make it an all-star. And from there on, I kept getting letters from colleges. Come, we're gonna come. You should come to a recruitment night. Go to come to recruitment night with us. And I did. And at first, I was gonna. I went to Rick's College out in Idaho. Now it's BYU Idaho, and I went out there to check it out. Got a scholarship from them, and then I went out to BYU Utah, to see how it's like to be at the D1 level. And me coming from a small school and going to the D1, it was just a big change. And I got hit so hard, I never I never went back because it was so different. All those guys, they play that like level people's out, and I couldn't take the hit anymore, so I left. I came back to Mass, and so I came back to Mass and just kept working out, and then I got a call from a college called Mount Ida College out in Newton, Mass. It's a little bit outside of Boston, and the coach said, they're going to start a program in 1998, and he would love for me to play because he heard all about me and as a running back and as a player, and I did. And I went out there. I checked out the program. I went there. I tried out and everything else. Then I got a scholarship to play football from them too. Even though they did not D3, they're not supposed to give up scholarship, but the coach didn't care. He was like, "Yeah, here's the money. Put it somewhere else towards school." And
They have to call it something else. They call it like leadership, or they
yeah,
find ways.
yeah, yeah. Any ways that they don't get caught. You know what I mean? They actually was calling my allowance. That's what it was. He's like, "Here's a $15,000 allowance."
Yeah, they
Just don't
figure
care.
something out. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, from there on, man, I played, at Mount Ida College, and then the head coach left because he got a better offer to go to another school, and the new head coach didn't like me, and then I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna sit on the bench, but I sucked it up for a year. You know what I mean? I sucked it up because I'm not gonna be a poor athlete. I did whatever he asked me to do, and then the following year I transferred to UMass Boston, and I played it too. I play running back as well, and then from there on, I mean, and then they shut the program down because they want to do a diverse of women's sport, of women and men's sport. A lot of program are getting rid of the football program because of that. From there on, I didn't know what to do after that. And then one of my friend gave me an idea. Why don't you go play arena ball? You're still young. I was like, I don't know, getting hit, like a million miles per hour and on a basketball court. And I gave it a shot. I went to try out for the at the time it was New Jersey Gladiators. I couldn't take the hit. I just like, no, this is not for me. I want to be able to walk the next day, not crying the next day. From there, and then a couple of guys, who I used to play high school ball with, they were playing semi-pro in my area, and they're like, "Oh, why don't you come play semi-pro with us? You still got you still got the drive, and you're still young and full of energy. Come play semi-pro." And I gave it a shot. I mean, big mistake. You got to wake up and go to work the next day. I mean, I would never do it again. Semi-pro is crazy because they got to pay to play. And then from there on, I'm like, no, now I got to do something about this. So I went to coach Western Part One program, and I coached
What,
away.
what what made you decide? What made you decide to, like, okay, I want to coach? What was that? moments in your
Okay.
life where you felt like, okay, I'm going to make this transition?
Well, it's giving back, man. It's giving back
Uh,
was huge. It was one of my main goal was when I said, you want to say hi? Hi. Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, go, I got it. Go to mommy. Yeah, man. It's I look back. The reason why I wanted to coach because the guy that gave me the opportunity to play or took me off the street. I mean, he was my huge mentor, and he was like, "Raj, you play anymore?" I was like, "No, I'm all done." He goes, "Oh, why don't you coach with me?" So from there on, I just started I coached for a few years. I was a hard knock coach. I yell and I scream, but at first I got to fix your mistakes first. I fixed my play and mistakes first, and you fucked up again, and now you start yelling. So from there on, a lot of the private school here in my city heard about me, how the way I coach and stuff, how my energy was. So he's like, "Oh, why don't you come coach my junior varsity program?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "You're gonna get paid." I was like, "Whoa, I'm gonna get paid for coach? I'm in. Count me in. When do I start?" They're like, "Oh," he's like, "You can start in a couple of weeks when we do our OTA stuff." And then, I've been coaching at the high school level since '03. Uh, that man there gave me an opportunity, and I never forget him either. So every now and then I would call him up, and then we'll meet up. We'll do football talk, nothing crazy, just all football talk. And then sometime we're thinking about what if we coach again together? I was like, that'd be awesome. But him and we won the high school championship in '05 here in Mass.
Wow.
That was a great accomplishment too. I mean, getting the ring, yeah. And from there on, I've just been coaching ever since, man. I helped run football clinics to the city. I also a buddy of mine who's an NFL agent, where him and I run a football clinic as well. And also, I train a couple NFL guys too, and former NFL guys that I still keep in contact with. And I also coach with a former NFL player as well with the women's team, and I enjoy every moment of it, man. I would not look back. I'm gonna just keep going, full steam ahead.
Yeah. So you got
And
to tell us about the women's league and the team because honest, Co and I were talking. We didn't really know it even existed, and it sounds really cool. Tell us a little bit about that.
well, the women's team existed since 2001, but just different league. Now that they have the Women Football Alliance, that's the league that's most recognizable. And I was with them 2016, and I coached with Patrick Pass with National Spring Football League. That was the men pay league for spring that we play all over the country too. And he's like, "Ross, why don't you go coach the women's team since you're not doing it in the spring?" I was like, I don't know. I think about it. Let me ask my wife first. What she think about it? When I told her, she goes, "What? You coach a women's team?" I was like, "Yeah, the women's team. They play football." They're like, "No way, women don't play football."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, they play football too." And in 2016, I went. I gave it. I didn't know at first. I didn't know how to approach them. How am I going to coach these women versus they're coaching men? You know, and then and I asked one of my former player who plays college ball for me. He go, "Coach, just coach them the way you coach us. You swear at them, you yell at them." I was like, "All right, say no more." And, so I coached the Boston Renegades, the women's team here in Boston. Yeah, yeah. Go help me. Come, Papa, busy right now. Go put your jacket on. Chilly over here. Sorry, guys.
That's all good.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Go inside. Go to mommy. All right. So yeah, I mean, I coached with them since 2016. We went to the Super Bowl, but we lost to Dallas. Dallas is a different breed. Football and everything. I continue on. Uh,
Just so our viewers know, how many teams were in the league?
WFA has about 65 teams throughout the country, but
Oh,
they're all in different tiers. We're in tier one where we're the best.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh,
like a
Okay.
college level. It's like a it's like a college level, D1, D2, D3. We're
Yep.
D1.
Like the minor leagues
And
and the majors or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. So we have international players too. We got a running back. She's from England, and another one is from Finland, and a couple from Germany. The one from England, she is fast, and the one from Finland, she's a train wreck. That's actually her nickname
Huh.
because she just bowled those people over. And yeah, I enjoy coaching women. It's different. It's different because you know they listen better. That's all. They listen better because they don't know it all. Like when I coached the men's for like 15 years, I get the I know. I was like, no, you don't fucking know. You keep fucking up. And and then they came with the well, what division ball did you play? Like, oh, Jesus Christ. It's not about division. It's all about, knowing, accepting that you're wrong of what you did. And then with them, like I text you, message you the other day, like I have 4 rings with them, and actually this year I didn't coach them this year because I moved on to coach the pro arena team. And that was a huge compliment. That's a professional level. I was getting paid. I wasn't getting paid to coach a women's team. I just do it because I love football and it's out of my heart and it was my passion.
Yep.
And I still coach high school. The high school is like 15, 20 minutes from my house right now. Um, I mean, I enjoy every moment of it. But if I'm not coaching, I'm reffing football. That's the thing. So I do a little both. I double dip here and there.
So what level do you
So,
ref? Is it high school or what level do you ref?
I ref the high school semi-pro and D3 football.
Oh,
are you
nice.
familiar?
So
Are you familiar with Low Van Fam? Have you heard of
I'm
him?
sorry. What's that?
I was wondering, are you familiar with Low Van Fam? If you had ever heard of him, he's a referee
Yeah,
in the NFL.
NFL.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard of the Vietnamese guy.
Yeah. He's born in
Lao
Laos.
Vietnamese.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's loud.
Well, he's ethnically Vietnamese, but from Laos and Pak Se, where he's from, there's a large like a Viet
Oh, okay.
community. These people moved around and what have you. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, he's actually from Laos originally. Grew up in the same neighborhood as my wife.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah,
it was like in
we claim
yeah,
him, man. Laos.
yeah, yeah. There you go.
You born in
yeah.
Laos, baby, Laos.
He got on the NFL last year, I think,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
because
So
he did so good with the
Right before that, he was
USFL.
in the USFL
Yeah,
for just
yeah, I
for a
read about it.
season, and then he transitioned over to NFL. So yeah,
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 he's
great.
loving it. I talk to him every once in a while. We interviewed him
they,
before the whole NFL thing,
Yeah.
and so it was just really cool. Really proud of him.
See, the
Um,
thing is now, like, I can't do D2 or D3. I meant D1 because they got an age limit and a height requirement.
oh,
So me being from Southeast Asia, I'm not 6 feet tall, anything like that. I'm only 5'6", man. But
What
you know, but
to be a ref?
yeah, Lowe's
yeah,
5'10", I think 5'9",
yeah,
5'10".
yeah,
So he's actually tall
yeah,
because you can't see, right? They'll say
Right.
there's a six
Okay.
foot
Yeah.
right,
five, lineman in
Yeah.
front of
right.
you,
Okay,
and
that makes sense.
but
Yeah, that's why when I went to play college ball and I told them I played linebacker, and they said no, 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 you can't see the field. So I was like, all
yeah,
right, that's fine. I'll stick to running back.
yeah, cool. Well,
Man,
man,
tell us like what would be your whether it's a player as a kid, as a father, as a coach, what is your proudest moments?
My proudest moment, man, it's just to see the kids come back and say, Coach, I succeed. Thank you. That's the biggest, that's my proudest moment. But my
Mhm.
biggest goal that I had was I became a head coach at a high school not too far from where I live now. And, and that was my biggest achievement there. Other than winning the championship, being a head coach was great. I don't do it anymore because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You got to deal with a lot of parents. You got to deal with teachers. You got, the players. Everything falls on you. And the program that I was head coach for, some kids that come to school or come to practice, they don't have the money to eat the night before, or they don't have the money to eat lunch. And what am I supposed to do? At time where hopefully my wife is not listening, but at time where I'd say, okay, let's go buy some food for your family. That comes out of my pockets. That program there, where I, I'm a broke coach after the season's over because I put so much money onto the kids. And instead of making money, my money is gone and it's negative, even though I got paid. It's but it's like I said, it's I'm just glad the kids come back, say, coach, thank you for everything. If it wasn't for you, I don't know where I'd be at. And you gotta, as a coach, you gotta guide them to the right direction, be a father figure role, and support them in any way as possible. And be a great influence and a great model to them was my biggest thing. And I keep telling my player, listen, don't be a stranger. I don't care I don't care what time of day or time of night. If you need something, you let me know. You know, well, I get a lot of, like, now that a lot of them are adults now. They still call me coach, which is huge. They still respect you if they call you that. If they come back by call you by your first name, whatever. I mean, not that I care, but it's more respectable if a former player, come back and just say, "Hey, Coach Raj, what's up?" That's huge. Or they just shoot me a text and say, "Hey, Coach Raj." That's a plus to me, man. That's put a smile on my face every time I see a kid. Just shoot me a text and just let me know about their life and outside after high school, or and great too to see former players coaching too as well. And they give back what I give them back. They do the same things I do. And they also ask questions. I tell them, listen, I'm not Belichick, but I'll give you an answer. I don't have the NFL record money, but I'll give you an answer.
Yeah, that's cool. So, I mean, so you're coaching in the Arena League. What do you see yourself doing here in this season, this year, and the next couple years?
Uh, it's hard to tell. I keep telling myself that I need to stop and slow down. I have a family now. I think I would say I'll give myself a couple more years, and I think I'm done coaching and refing because now I want to see my kids go into sports. With me being so busy year round with football, and I don't have, I want to see my kids grow and to be an athlete or to be successful. I don't want to be that dad where, oh, you were home, but you wasn't there. You know what I mean? I thank God I had both parents, but they wasn't there to support me. Every time I remember my mom always said, you're so small, and every time you come home, you complain that you're hurt and everything else. Why don't you quit? I was like, I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna keep going. And then I break a bone here and there. My mom's always say, why don't you quit? You always breaking bones here and there. I was like, Ma, it's ball. Hey, it's gonna happen. I mean, injury's gonna happen. It's just how you move on after that. I just continue playing. I never gave up, and they just my passion, man. I have passion for football, man. I would love to the Southeast Asian sport game that they do there every year. I would love to see if they could put football out there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. They have a lot of other sports. We were just there
Yeah,
with the contingent allow American athletes, but no football. I don't think there's enough players. Maybe one day. So that would be cool for sure.
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, hey man, great story. I loved hearing about your childhood and I love hearing your passion for football. And especially that giving back part, right? You got to give if you want it. That's
Oh yeah,
to
yeah.
me giving back. I mean, I won shows like as a competitor, so I got, but yeah, my accomplishments were like more like when I gave back, when like that giving part.
Hmm.
What type of advice do you have for people, a young kid, man, who has a passion for whatever it may be in life, playing music, football, being a doctor? What type of advice do you give for someone who's like,
I,
wants to follow their passion?
I keep telling them, just pursue it. Only you can make it happen. It's like no one's gonna do it for you. Just you gotta set your own goals and achieve it. Let the negative, well, don't listen to the negative. Take the negative and turn it into positive.
Mhm.
Just like I said with my parents, my mom, you're always getting hurt. Why don't you quit? I never quit. I came back for more. And even like today, and I have friends that's like, why you always running free clinics? Why? Why? You got to make money. I was like, money ain't about everything. It's happiness. It's everything.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
if I see a kid going home saying, I had a good time. Thanks for teaching me. And, I learned a lot today. That's my happiness right there. And with all these kids, they have ambition to do whatever they're doing, man. Just chase that. Go after it and keep working hard. Don't give up. You got to set your own goal. You got to make that goal happen. My goal was to, when I was playing, my goal was to be somebody today. And I became somebody today. Not, I became a father. I became a coach, a mentor, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to see a smile, put a smile on a kid's face.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's good, man. So we really appreciate. So last thing before we part here, as the NFL season kicks off, we know you're a big 49ers fan. How are they going to
Just,
do this year?
I think they're gonna be mediocre this year. Probably gonna go. My guess would be 8-7, 9. Because McDaniel's not a head coach material. He's not tough enough. Yes, he's a great OC, but he's not tough enough to be a head coach.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. They're gonna go a little above 500. First
There you
round of
go.
the playoff.
All right. You heard it, folks, right from Coach Rasi. 49ers 50-50 this year, 500 season. We'll see how they do.
Hey,
Well,
let me
yeah,
ask
go
you,
ahead,
let me
go.
ask you this. Let me ask you, what do you think of Rodgers and the Jets? Well, what are your thoughts on the Jets
He's
this year?
gonna be another Brett Favre.
What do you think he's going to stay for 1 year, then go to Minnesota?
No, he wouldn't go to Minnesota. I'm just saying he's gonna
That's
be
what Favre did. Remember Favre went to Jets
right,
for a
right.
year.
I think he's gonna stay here for a couple more years, and then
Oh,
he's gonna float around after that. He's gonna retire. Give him a few more years.
yeah.
Football don't last forever, man. You just play it day by day.
That's why the coaching aspect. I couldn't be a competitive bodybuilder forever, right? And like
Right,
I'm coaching. It's that giving back, man. And
right.
I've got more joy. Like you say, man, people thanking you, people saying you changed their life, and it's just that's more rewarding for me.
Oh
When
yeah,
I
big time.
competed, I was more like it was ego driven. It was from an ego. I needed to win,
Yeah.
win, win. All about me.
No,
But it was,
I coach to change the image of us Asians. Where Asians are book smarts or Asian only do this, Asian do that. Man, there's more to that. And
yeah.
I'm trying to change that image, man. It's I know. So I also like the guys I used to play high school football with. I was like, man, why don't you go coach football? Well, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Then why are you here watching son practice? Go fucking coach. I mean,
Yeah.
they always ask, how did you do it? I was like, listen, man, you gotta have it in your heart. It's your heart and desire. You got a heart for the game. You love the game, desire to coach, and desire to give back. That's how I look at it. And man, it's time for everything, man. You got to make time. Time management is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't be like I said. Don't be like that father where maybe like you're there, but you wasn't there for me. I don't want to be that father where my kids said, "Yeah, you were there, but you was never there." You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's a big sacrifice, though. Like I said,
It
because
is.
coaching high school football, you don't get to eat dinner with your family. You're practicing with the team in the evening, and then Friday nights are gone, right? I mean,
Right.
and so yeah, big sacrifice. So we admire what you're doing.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, anything else for Rasi before we wrap up?
Oh man, I've enjoyed this conversation, man. It's been great. I really thank you for coming on, man. And all the best, best of luck to you in the future. You, your family, a lot of success and happiness, man.
Yeah.
All right,
Have
thank
your
you, brother.
Yeah. So appreciate it, Rossi. Appreciate it, everybody. Thanks for listening to this episode. Be sure to share the show, share it with your friends, give us those 5-star reviews on Apple or Spotify, and subscribe on YouTube if you wouldn't mind. With
Does
that,
the little guy want to say something?
yeah.
Chris, you want to say
something?
something to him?
Hey, do you like football? You play
Oh, yeah,
football?
He wants to play. He wants to play. Every
Alright.
time I'm about to leave the house, he's like, "You going to football?" I was like, "Yeah." He go, "I want to go." I was like, "Oh no."
Well, maybe in a
He's
few
good
years. Few years we'll
Yeah.
have him on. So there you go. Well, cool.
Have him on camera saying thank you for watching. Thank you for the
Say
C4
thank you.
podcast.
Thank you for watching the podcast. He's being shy
Okay,
right now.
that's okay.
All right.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
well, thank you, everybody. We're out. Okay,
Thank you,
Rasi.
guys.
The C4 podcast is brought to you by the Lao American Sports Hall of Fame. Visit us on the web at laoamericansports.com, celebrating the first, inspiring the next.